we can start. By the way, my name is Chris, and I'm the Sales and Technical Manager from Vibrant Technology Solutions Incorporated, the company that's bringing you this webinar this morning. So, before I introduce our first speaker for this morning, allow me to play a company presentation for an introduction of our company, Vibrant Technology Solutions Incorporated.
Vibrant. Vibrancy is a concept that is deeply ingrained in the building and construction industry, evoking progress, growth, and innovation. We are Vibrant Technology Solutions Incorporated, drawing inspiration from this dynamic spirit. The founders of Vibrant Technology Solutions Incorporated set out to revolutionize the construction industry with a bold vision and a commitment to harnessing the power of technology in construction. Since our inception in 1999, Vibrant Technology Solutions Incorporated, also known as VTS, has been relentlessly and effectively channeling opportunities to our customers to grow and succeed. We are the sole reseller of Tekla Solutions by Trimble since year 2000. As the sole reseller of Tekla Solutions by Trimble, VTS offers a comprehensive range of cutting-edge products and services to the building and construction industry. Our solutions include Tekla structures, Tekla tabs, Tekla PowerFab, Tekla EPM, Tekla Structural Designer, SketchUp Pro, and Trimble Connect. We also provide solutions for enhanced project visualization through augmented and mixed reality. Our solution for AR and MR includes XR10 with HoloLens 2 and Trimble Connect AR. VTS is the only authorized training and Tekla professional certification center in the Philippines. In addition, we also provide linear construction material optimization solutions. We offer Raiden Systems, CP Manager, and AutoNest so that construction leaders can optimize their material usage, minimize waste, and streamline their production processes. Overall, we are entrusted by Trimble Inc. with the sales, marketing, business development, and technical support across Trimble's building solutions portfolio. We are one of the leaders of this technology. We at VTS believe that customer engagement and enjoyment are just as important as delivering top quality solutions. We take pride in channeling opportunities and in fostering a strong sense of community amongst our clients. At the heart of our business, we place a strong emphasis on cultivating meaningful relationships with both our existing and new clients. Our commitment to customer service is unwavering, and we take pride in providing easy to approach local support that is always reliable and transparent. Our goal is that when people think of Tekla Solutions, they immediately think of VTS, a trusted partner and industry leader that is dedicated to helping our customers achieve their goals and reach new heights of success. Vibrant Technology Solutions Incorporated, channeling opportunities. Tekla Solutions by Trimble. Still different, but always better.
Okay, thank you very much. And now we move on to the our first presentation, And of course, we've invited an esteemed speaker this morning. Allow me to introduce our speaker. He is a licensed civil engineer with over 18 years of extensive working experience overseas, including 13 years in Hong Kong. This professional has established himself as a leader in the industry, and as the founder and CEO of a Typhron Consultancy Limited in Hong Kong and BBIMC Solution Limited in the Philippines, he has made significant contributions to the field of civil engineering and in advancing building information modeling integration in the field. He is a CIC certified BIM manager in Hong Kong with ISO 19650 1-8 certification from the BSI Hong Kong and the Hong Kong University. Additionally, our speaker has served as a BIM instructor at CIC Hong Kong and holds the prestigious BSI International Certified BIM Manager or Professional designation through the project Information Pathway. At present, he is a board of director at the National BIM Institute of the Philippines Incorporated, further advancing BIM practices in the region. His expertise and leadership make him a prominent figure in civil engineering and BIM management. Let us all welcome Engineer Mark San Jose to talk about understanding the role of BIM in engineering and construction education. Sir Mark?
Good morning, everyone. Uh, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Loud and clear. Very good. Okay. So I have a 30 minutes presentation to you, and I guess it will just be all right for me to cover all what I wanted to share. Okay. Let me share my screen and let me run my time clock here. Okay. So I won't be lost. All right. Okay. Let me share my screen here. Um, Again, just like what I said, let me play our company video so at least you can have an idea what are we doing. Okay, I removed the sound because I try to speed up everything. You see? Okay, that is the very short and very quiet presentation of my video. Pardon for that. But if you need a video with voiceover or with voice, I can share it to you. Okay, I guess you missed my slide. Okay, the topic for our discussion today, or right now, is the understanding the role of BIM in engineering and construction applications. And again, as I said earlier, enough for the explanation of who I am, okay, because I already have a wonderful explanation to stop. Okay, and again, there are some sort of presentation here, okay, that you may find it interesting that indeed I received multiple awards in Hong Kong that majority of my project are civil engineering. As you can see, civil engineering, and majority of this one is civil. I'm not an architect. I am a civil engineering. I am a civil engineer. I really apply. my course as an engineer to BIM and application. So I might be the right fit on this discussion, one of the right fit. Anyway, uh, let me share you what I know so far. Let me start defining to you guys what is for me is are the 2D CAD, 3D CAD, 3D beam, 4D beam, 5D beam, 60 beam, 70 beam, and 80 beam. Okay, it's important for me that you understand this concept because I will relate it with what I plan to conclude when it comes to our topic, which is we need to understand the role of BIM in engineering, construction, and education because we need to understand, okay, the difference between those things that I have mentioned. Okay, I assume that majority of the listener here right now is a student who are already interested or hear about a little bit about BIM, but they still wanted to know more about BIM, if this is a really a good path for them, or if it's really some sort of a bright future ahead for themselves if they try to pursue in which direction.
Sir
Okay,
Mark, sorry to interrupt, sir. Uh, are you presenting using the presenter mode or would you like to show us the slideshow, sir? Kasi ang nakita yata sa screen is yung the layout of the slides, not
okay,
the slideshow.
all right, sorry, yeah, okay, all right,
Yan, okay na,
yeah,
sir.
okay, perfect. This is much perfect. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so what is 2D CAD? Okay, two-dimensional is a representation of a project inside a virtual world. Virtual world. I try to explain it in the simplest manner that I know. Okay, what are the virtual device? Virtual device are our computer, our laptop, and our cell phone or our tablet. That is a virtual device. What is BIM? Okay, a 2D is a 2D representation of our project inside a virtual world. That is 2D CAD. So in the right corner, we have the real world, the real constructions, and for the 2D, we are just doing it a two-dimensional. What is 3D CAD? 3D CAD is a three-dimensional representation of a project inside a virtual world, a three-dimensional uh, model inside the virtual world. Okay, that is the 3D CAD. And if we move forward, okay, what is 3D BIM? So 2D CAD, it's a 2D representation of a project. 3D CAD is a 3D model inside a virtual project representing the real world. And the 3D BIM is a three-dimensional of a project with BIM construction information, representation of a project inside a virtual world. So 3D CAD is a 3D representation normally used in the visualizations, but in BIM, it is not only a 3D model, but with a construction information like the materials, the length, the size, the width, the categories, the type, etc., etc. So you can see in the screen that it's not only that you have a 3D model, but also you will have a sort of schedules that relate with the construction information. That is the basic information that needs in the 3D BIM. Now, let's move on. What is 4D BIM? Also, 4D BIM is a 3D dimensional representation of your project inside a BIM, inside a virtual world, but and with BIM object information, or what I mean is BIM construction information plus the time information. Remember, the difference between the 3D beam and 4D beam is 4D beam is with time information. You are later on. I'm going to show you an example what I mean by this 4D because most majority of my work is revolves with the 4D. Okay, with the time information. The time information is when it will be construct, when it will be demolished, is it a temporary, etc., etc. So 3D we already defined the 2D CAD, 3D CAD, 3D beam, and 4D beam. Okay, and then what is the 5D beam? So 5D beam is a three-dimensional with BIM object information plus time information and also cost information. So if you wanted to enter in BIM, you really have to understand that it's not about just only modeling, but it's also about the information. But you have to ask yourself, what information do you need to put it into your model? Because again, you don't need to put all the information like this in your model if it's not necessary, because it will just add time on producing that kind of PIM. 6D beam. What is 60 beam? 60 beam also is a three-dimensional with BIM object information, with the time information, with the cost information, and another information regarding with object life cycle information. This is the, you have to put the information where the object, when it will be maintained, when it will be replaced, when it will be expired. So those information actually you cannot get it from the designer. No, I forgot to mention also in 4D that the time information, of course, you will get this information from the planner. Okay, and then for the construction information, you will get the information from the designer. For the cost information in 5D, sorry if I go back to 5D again, so 5D beam, you have to get the information from your cost estimator. So again, it's not because you know how to do the model, you have to do everything. So that's why BIM is a collaboration. Okay, you don't need to take all the responsibility of everybody because you know how to do the model, and then eventually you will ignore them. No, you have to collaborate them. Okay, because BIM is a process. So after we deal with the 60 beam, okay, we go to 3D dimension with BIM information. Okay, 70 beam, sa time information plus the cost information, object lifecycle information, plus the operation and maintenance information. Again, this operation and maintenance information should be provided by the O&M people, not the modeler, not the planner, not the cost estimator, and that cycle. What is 80 beam? It's a 3D dimensional with BIM object information, time information, cost information, object life cycle information, and operation and maintenance information, plus the safety information. Of course, if you have an object, you really need to provide information with regards with the safety, the safe distance, the hot and cool things information that the people need to be aware of. Okay, so let's move. Okay, understanding the role of BIM in engineering and construction education. As you can see here, whatever, if you are someone who wanted to study BIM, okay, you need to understand that you are all together creating a project. So basically, a BIM manager is trying to organize and try to handle all the collaborators within the project. So you might be an architect, you might be a facade, you might be MBAC, you might be in plumbing and drainage, electrical, fire, civil, US, and structure. Again, you are all working in the virtual world because before the project was constructed. In the project, there is what you call uh, planning phase, we have design phase, you have tender phase, and then you have construction, constructions, and then operation and maintenance. This is basically the maturity of the BIM. You have to remember that you cannot cover everything. As a student, you have to choose whether which part you think you will be best on this in this scenario, or which interest you will be in on this scenario. But again, I'm telling you that you cannot be everything. You will just be one coordinator unless you wanted to be a BIM manager. And if you wanted to be a BIM manager, you will just really cover the surface of the all execution. Okay, BIM is a process. BIM is not BIM, of course, is not a Revit. BIM is a process that uses a digital representation of a building infrastructure to facilitate planning, design, and construction. So we have planning phase, we have design phase, we have construction phase, and we have operation phase. There is what you call level of development regarding the graphics, information, and of course, producing the documents. So this, what you all see here is what you call BIM use. Things that you can do from the BIM. Okay, again, BIM is not just about producing the model, but it's just on how you are using the model in order for you to produce a a quality virtual product like a BIM model. Okay, so BIM is a process. BIM really is a wonderful tools for us to learn it, but you need to choose. I hope I can be part of your decision process on this. Okay, so we have a planning phase. I will not go through all over it because it will take us time, but because I wanted to focus on the example. But again, BIM is a process. This is a beautiful document that so you could understand what is the process means. Like for example, from appointing party, you will give it to the consultant, and then they will have a site analysis. You need to produce existing condition, cost estimate, and then tender response, and then the design stage. It will transfer it to the design stage, and these are the process. Okay, model, drawing, productions, cost estimate, engineering analysis, sustainability. Remember that these are the things that I mentioned to you on the design phase. So basically, it's a process. Okay, it's a process where the standards are being these are being implemented in the tender stage. This is the process. This is the collaborator, the designer. This is what I mean by quantity surveyor, the tenderer, and then at the construction stage, you will have this what you call this as-built modeling, model audit, uh, for the simulation, phase planning, phase switching, so clash analysis. So you will see the root. This is a beautiful, uh, beautiful process to look at when if you wanted to study BIM. Because again, you cannot learn everything, but you will find a portion of your interest on this process. Okay, we have this as-built information management workflow, and then we have this operation stage. Again, my name is Mark. I have a BIM company in Hong Kong since 2020. Okay, I just only have at least 8 minutes of my time. Okay, now we are more on visual. So basically, as of this moment, okay, we have this kind of project in Hong Kong. Okay, because BIM, where you have a BIM, you have a BDC, and you have IDT. So I agree to okay. So BIM, we are doing this, but I will tell you now that we are not a consultant.
Sir Mark, sorry to
Okay?
interrupt. Sir, please, I understand that you're very mindful of the time, but since we started, like, I would be happy to uh, lend you a
Oh,
few of my time because I will be showing them a very quick slide presentation for the solutions that we have. I think this is a more important one that you're sharing with them. So please, uh,
so you allow me to extend more time, to have
yes,
more
sir.
time.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, very good. Okay, now I start with doing the BIM model. Okay, this is my question. After we create the BIM model, what the engineer or sorry, oh, okay, okay. So normally, um, the consultant, the architect, the structural engineers, the MEP, the designer are the responsible doing the model. It's not my company because we are basically the extension of their office, whereas they are producing to the drawings, and our job is a BIM or 2D to 3D modeling subcontractor. They provide us the 2D drawings, and then we make it in a 3D model in accordance with standard. Okay, but the question is the story ending like that? Or once we complete the model, it's already done? No. The question is how we are going to make sure that the model in the design phase will be with integrity when it comes to an as-built stage of the model. because it will be a long way to go. Like this is this is the preliminary intent and how it ends after a years of construction. How will you cover the design changes? How do you cover the material changes? How will you use your model in order to speed up the process of construction of a project? How will you use the model in order for you to estimate the materials that you wanted to 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 find out? Okay, how will you make sure that the safety officer, construction people, the project engineer, the project manager are looking to a updated drawings, updated model, because that's basically the value of the process of the PIM. The designer created the 3D model. This is what you call PDBIM, the minimum BIM. And then the construction manager wanted to look at the construction sequence. Therefore, I need to ask the planning people to give me their program. So I have to incorporate it in my model and then give it to the site people so they would understand. Okay, and then I have to get the information, just like what I said earlier, the value of 5D, 6D for the safety, ATB. So I have, if this is a requirement, then I have to do. So this is the first part, creating the BIM. Now, this is the example of what I am talking about. That again, so here we have this is, let's say, for example, this is BIM modeling on my left upper corner. Now, so this is the 4D BIM simulation. This is basically a construction simulations, whereas in my 3D BIM, I talk to the planner, I ask for the program, I put it to my objects and then run a simulation according to the program. So it will be back and forth. Okay, we have what you call 4D pacings because again, in the 4D pacing, you are showing the stages of the project. Okay, you are showing the stages of the project. So this will help the whole construction team and even the client to understand what will happen and all the concerns, like for example, for the safety, for the timing, for the cost cost saving design, some sort of like that. That will help them on their decision making. Okay, and here in the visualization, we have in the lower left corner, this is another use of a BIM that we are producing a model, and then they will uh, they will run this animation, the contrast, the lightings that helps them to do the visualization decision. Okay, especially this is for the client. Okay, this is how the BIM helps you to make the client understand what is the project is all about. We need to have a decision for them, for the client. And then sometimes we have this augmented reality. Okay, you are using cell phone, and then we have the business card, and then we are showing to the client. And here the most important here is the class detection. We are providing that apart from the BIM. Again, I mentioned what is BIM, and this is some sort of example of the BIM use. Okay, now let's move. I have a few more slides here. Okay, in BIM, okay, once you created the BIM or from the start, now again, I am very humble to tell you that I can just only I can just only do I can just only do the preparation of the model. But when it comes to analysis, it always be the consultant because they have the responsibility and they are liable to do the design. I can just be an extension of their office, but what I am telling you as a student, you have to see it that you have this kind of path. This is a pathway for you. If you are interested in the design, you can align yourself not to be a modeler, but you can align your interest, your dream job to be a designer. Now I am telling you there is a path for you on that. So might as well that you focus on this area once you see this one, or I want this one when it comes when I will enter the BIM. There is what you call here traffic. Okay, it's already alarming. Okay, so There is what you call traffic and mobility simulation down here. I am doing that. If, for example, if I have a facing, I try to analyze what the traffic. For example, you have works on the road, and then I need to model the TTA. I need to divert the traffic, and then I explaining to the Hong Kong government what will be the effect of this TTA or temporary traffic arrangement or the construction to the traffic, so they will understand what will happen. And if they don't like it, they will change it. Okay, we have this energy analysis as well. We have this energy analysis as well where we are measuring the hot and coldness of a room. So that is another pathway as a student. You can go on that direction. Okay, this is analysis in BIM. Okay, and then there is another slide here where, oh, sorry, and stop. Okay, there is another slide here. Okay, so this one, okay, again, BIM, you can be someone responsible in doing this kind of animation. But of course, it's the different software. You can have this. This is one of my project, a construction logistics simulation. As a civil engineer, you have to understand where the logistic where we play. So it's a different story. It's a different approach. Normally, different person. When you're an architect, it might not be this one is for you. Okay, you will have this kind of lifting simulations, which is very very what you call this mabenta sa amin to. Ibig sabihin, we become a partner of one of the construction company, showing that to show the criticality of the project. Look at this, because there is an MPR behind, so it's really critical. It's very dangerous. No, there's supposed to be there is a this is a high quality works. Okay, so we have a drone. We fly a drone to capture the existing conditions, and then we put it into our model. We create in a simulation showing the constraint that it may happen. Okay, so we are trying to predict to predict the possible problem that may occur, so it will help them to decide whether the methods are feasible or not. Okay, and then we have here again engineering as a civil engineer. As a civil engineer, and if you are a civil engineer, okay, this can be really perfect for you. Okay, it helps you to analyze. It helps you to analyze. It helps you to help them see what will happen in the future. Okay, if there is, for example, here, okay, in the right upper corner. Okay, so this is a point cloud. This is a point. We did not model this. We have a laser. We have a lidar scanning. They go to the site, scan the site, and then after that, we use their sequence. We ask them for the swept path of the segment, and then later on, we produce this kind of animation, and then we present them, and then for them to see what is the critical constraint that could happen. So they are paying us to produce this kind of animation. See, there is a road there that needs to and then we have this bridge animation on the lower left corner that they need to understand. This is regarding safety. This is about safety. And then we have this on the lower right corner, the simulation, which is really for civil engineering. So it's interesting. I hope you can see the slow version video of this one, because if you are a civil engineer, you will learn. You will learn also. All right. Again, the background of these are point cloud. It's a photogrammetry and point cloud. Okay. So now, in conclusion, okay, in conclusion, again, for student or professional aiming to pursue a career in building information modeling, it's critical for you guys to understand that BIM is merely a 3D modeling, while modeling is fundamental. Modeling is just only a foundational skill. BIM true value lies in the workflow, in enhance collaboration and drive innovation across to the entire life cycle of a construction project. Again, it's not just only about the modeling. you can see that design ordering is equivalent to the word design modeling. Apart from that design modeling, what can you use? Rather than focusly solely in the software BI proficiency, BIM requires a strategic mindset. How can you leverage BIM tools and methodologies to excel in your current role or advance toward to your ideal position? I mentioned here the word ideal position in the construction industry because whether you are a civil engineer, mechanical engineer, or architect or construction management, what is your ideal position? It's very good for you to understand at least the concept. Okay, whether you want it to be in the design analysis, okay, or you wanted to evaluate the energy efficiency, structural integrity, material sustainability, tools like class detection, daylight analysis, carbon footprint. You can be on that direction, okay, if you are the student. Now, you can also get in the site, integrate advanced technology. For example, if you wanted to be a site engineer, a good project engineer, or a project manager, you have to understand the new technologies like what I showed earlier, the laser scanning, the geospatial data, and then because you can create the accurate site model, no? It allows you to have at least traffic flow simulation, pedestrian movement. So if you want to be like that, then you can go on this direction. Okay, you can also in the direction where you wanted to be in the project management, where you are really be at the middle, you will be a project manager, being like a police, being a regulator, being, telling that, okay, oh, this is the timeline, this is the cost, this is the resources allocation, and then if you wanted to be the one, or I am the BIM manager, and the information I pick it up from the cost people, and then I put it, and then I distribute it to the architect, engineers, and the constructions. And then if you are a person who is dealing with the end result of the building, you can also go in a direction where you will be the person who will take over the BIM and then use the BIM in order for you to execute your job well as operation and maintenance people. Okay, the essence of BIM is a multidisciplinary tool. Again, it is not just about model. You can go to the bridge design, engineering, and management, whether you aspire to be a sustainable consultant or a project manager or a construction technologist. Mastering BIM, analytical and integrative capabilities will position you at the forefront of the industries in the digital transformation. You guys are in the correct direction. So again, this is my advice. We can 30 minutes are very short. I'm sorry if I over the time, but we stop. This is the end of my presentation. And if you have any question, you let me know, and I would be happy to answer. Sorry to stop.
All right, thank you very much,
Okay.
Sir Mark.
Mm,
We think that that's a very good presentation as well, and I think it would be very exciting for the civil engineering uh, education if not only the students but also the academe in its entirety, if we realize that building information modeling integration in the delivery of academic instruction would really be a game changer, especially for those who will become civil engineers. But to give credit to our audience right now, Sir Mark,
mm,
some of them may be students in their masteral degrees, but most of them are already professors in their respective
mm,
universities. So I think this is a very good presentation that you've shown, so that they'd be able to also add to their realization that indeed this advanced technology in civil engineering must be integrated to their respective university.
mm,
So, and that is where my presentation, sir, will be coming in, because I was tasked to uh, do the presentation for. By the way, can you already see my screen? So I was given the title in connection with your presentations, Mark, that bridging academia and industry and empowering future engineers with Tekla solutions. So this is where we drive down to the actual solutions that we already have here in the Philippines that's being provided by our company, Vibrant Technologies, and which can be adapted by our educational system or the different universities that we have, and especially those who are attending this uh, event. So I'll start with my slide, and I would like to discuss with 5 points the skills gap in engineering right now, because we've seen a lot of the technology or the application of the BIM technology in civil engineering. But if we try to review the current engineering curriculum in the Philippines, we'll realize that comparing to the technology and the demand of the industry right now, that maybe our curriculum is a bit outdated. There's a lot of mention of AR, VR, or augmented reality, virtual reality, and I think not many universities right now are giving the students the chance to actually experience this type of technology. And there are others like sustainable construction, well, where we determine the carbon content of a specific structure in the making. So that's rarely touched in the current curriculum that we have, because basically, and I'm sure that a lot of the instructors or the professors that we have right now, our engineering curriculum is designed for students to pass the civil engineering board exams. So we may be lacking in some of the application that is required as our students come out of the school to become civil engineering professionals, no? And based on a lot of survey, our students have limited access to the industry tools such as the software, the hardware, the instructions. In fact, I was looking at a survey that was released last time. Our students, mostly, especially from public schools, are 5 years behind in literacy, and you can only imagine if that is the case. Uh, Maybe the instructions that we also have, not only with the civil engineering but across all our college courses, may be behind as well. And you know uh, technology is available but not to the students right now, or at least to the majority, because we have some universities can really adapt to this, especially the deep pocket universities. So resources is also a constraint. Some institutions which are not funded well might have issue with the cost, preventing them to actually acquire these different types of technology for instruction. And this would basically result to employer dissatisfaction. A lot of the companies that we actually partner with, every time we talk to them and they are looking for skills, wanted us to do the training first before they get to hire people for BIM, because if, as a company, you want to be getting the skills that are already there because you're already paying for the salary, and you want the people that you hire to have some background, if not a good background in building information modeling. So the vision of the company, Vibrant Technology Solutions and Trimble, is to establish as many Trimble laboratories as we can in by partnering with different universities here in the Philippines. So the photos that I'm showing you are actual Trimble laboratories in different parts of the world. Um Especially in Asia, we're growing in Asia. Singapore is a leader. The National University of Singapore has already have this type of technology, and this is also the goal of the company VTS, to bring it to our universities here in the Philippines, not only on the private but most especially our public schools. So the solution that we have is actually a portfolio for the academic institutions, which basically consists of Tekla structures. Now, there was a mention of the level of information that is contained in the model in Sir Mark's presentation. And basically, Tekla structures allows you to deliver a level of detail 500. Now, in the industry, what it means is that your 3D model would have so much information that you can actually build upon those information. That's the level that we deliver with Tekla structures. And also, since civil engineering would be needing analysis and design, which was mentioned as also a very good career path for civil engineers, we have coupled Tekla structures with two analysis and design solutions inside the academic portfolio, which is the Tekla Structural Designer and Tekla TEDS. Later on, I'll go over the difference between those two analysis and why it's good for utilization for instruction to our engineering curriculum or courses. And lastly, uh, in a lot of the slides that Sir Mark has shown, we're seeing data that is being utilized in a common environment. And part of the solution that we offer the academe is an experience for students to be able to um, utilize a common data in the environment for construction, which is a solution that is highly in demand right now. So these three or four rather softwares that are contained in the academic bundle is trusted by professionals globally. Now allow me with a few slides to discuss a little bit about each and every one of these solutions. So let's start with Tekla Structures. So Tekla Structures is a BIM tool because as Sir Mark also mentioned, the BIM is a process. So part of the process would have various tools. And the first tool on our bundle is Tekla Structures. So with Tekla Structures, you're able to create models, which is actually the core of BIM, having federated models. And inside that, you can do different kinds of project. Like the first image is an image of a project here in Makati in the Philippines. This is the ATG Tower, which was initially created using Tekla structures and now is already a finished project. So if you get to visit Makati Avenue, look for the ATG Tower. It's made from Tekla structures. The next image is an image of a building that is created using light gauge frames or light gauge steel, which is becoming a dominant material in current present day construction. There's a lot of companies right now in the Philippines offering light gauge steel, and you're also seeing a multi complex project with different buildings residing on a podium. So this example is a precast building. The first one, by the way, is a CIP or cast in place concrete building. And then Tekla Structures also creates steel structures. So basically, the original offering of Tekla is with steel detailing, but it was evolved into catering to different types of materials. Now, this image is an MEP for MEP application. Basically, you can also use the software for electromechanical, and then for not only for vertical structures but also for horizontal structures with multi-material application. So if you want to create a federated model, you can be able to use Tekla structures with that. And the difference between an ordinary model and a detailed model is, of course, the amount of detail that is contained in the model. So while you can create a 3D model in Tekla structures, you can also detail that specific models. So for instance, you have a concrete project and you want to create details of the rebar inside the project. So you can do rebar detailing, you can create details of the embeds or get manufacturers data in 3D and apply it in the model. So that's one thing. Now, if you have a precast project, you can create the precast element inside Tekla structures and then create a process wherein you can do the 4D detailing. It was mentioned in the first slide where you actually simulate how these precast elements build upon in the actual site so that you can see na parang you're creating a Lego assembly in construction. So you can detail that inside Tekla. And of course, for steel, this is one of the strength of Tekla structures that you can create a fully detailed steel structure with all the plates, the bolts that are modeled such that you can already produce NC files. So sa mga universities naman, we also teach at some level the NC programming and the fabrication. So we produce fabrication ready models for uh, the industry. And lastly, you can do a combination. So you want to create a detail for concrete and a detail for steel and put it together because 100% of our structures are hybrid. So it's not only made from concrete, but a combination of different materials, especially the way that construction is going right now. A lot of the materials are being introduced, and we're happy to say that you can create details of those materials, even timber, and basically all the materials you could think of. We can create um, a component for inside Tekla structures that allows you to create this LOD 500 models. And also using the same software. So this is one software that allows you to create the model, detail, and plans. So right now, I think the academy at some level still do the 2D teaches the way to do it in 2D, the drawings, to produce the drawings in 2D. The current requirement right now with BIM and at the high level would be the automation of 2D drawings. So once you've created this 3D model, the drawing becomes a report. So you, right now with the Tekla structures, engineers are no longer required to put the drawing up line by line, but you can generate that out of the 3D. So it's being automated right now, and I believe the requirement 5 years from now is that drawings such as this one will no longer be produced, but full utilization of the 3D model will be the case in construction. Okay, and Tekla can already deliver that one. So 4D was mentioned. Inside the same software, you can create your plan, your 4D plan, meaning you can connect your schedule with the 3D model. So this is a model-based scheduling tool, which may be covered in a subject that would be project management. So pasok yung solution natin dyan. So you can automatically link the different tasks on the different structural elements in your project. So for you to be able to create a full schedule of the entire project. So that's covered. And also, there are different project management tools inside Tekla Structures, one of which is yung poor planning, wherein you teach the students how to cut the project into different breakdown structures, and then from there create a plan on how everything is going to be laid out and to be put up, alin yung unang bubuhusan, and they can actually relate this to the schedule and track the progress of the project very clearly. Yeah, and of course the build. So the software has tools inside of it that allows you not only to the planning level but also with the building and construction. Kanina we've seen a simulation of the lifters or the cranes. So Tekla structure is able to do that as well. You can plan where the cranes are going to be positioned for maximum reach or for optimal reach. And then you can also simulate the deliveries with your logistic tools inside Tekla structures for construction. And also, you've seen probably this icon earlier as well. So these are parametric. So you just need to key in the parameters for the different cranes that you have, and automatically the software will simulate that for you. So part of the building process, and most especially the models that we create with the BIM tools that we have right now is geolocated. So, which is why the word digital twin is actually phrased because the digital environment allows you to create using the actual coordinates of the site, and it allows you to create very detailed models that it's already a digital twin of the actual project. So this is what the students are going to be able to experience with your instruction. But of course, the instructors needs to be trained as well. So for the last part, the models can produce layout points. So if for geodetic engineers, this is also a very good tool to make them understand the concept of layout, having this backside, foresight, and aligning it with the plans. So that's basically an overview of Tekla structures. Now, showing you some of the projects that are already produced in Tekla structures. So let me just play the other two. So these are some of the examples of projects that are done. And initially, if you got into this webinar early, I was showing you some of the projects that are actually done by students as they participated in the a contest that is sponsored by Trimble every year. So students are encouraged to submit their own projects, and it's judged. No, but the one that you're seeing are different types of projects. Some with steel, some with combination, especially the bridge, high-rise buildings. So these are federated models that you can actually produce using Tekla structures. Now you can imagine, if your students graduating with the knowledge of this software, so it would really give them the advantage out in the field. And but of course, they have to rely on your instructions and the level of training that you will also get. But don't worry about that. I'll discuss it later. So this is Tekla structures. Let me just skip it, medyo to save us some time. Okay. Now, this is foundational in civil engineering, that students would have a background in analysis and design solution. So in the academic bundle that we have two solutions that covers the analysis and design. So while I'm trying to explain, allow me to play the video. Tekla Structural Designer. So I'll just turn the audio off. And what it does is it allows the engineers or the students to create a 3D model of the project and do analysis and design. So this is a multi-material analysis and design tool that is widely used even in the Philippines right now. So the difference between other analysis and design tool is that this is a hybrid environment in terms of the material. Other solutions would allow you to do analysis and design using with concrete only or steel only. But Tekla Structures allows you to do analysis and design of a multi-material structure in one go. So you can have a combination of steel and concrete, or concrete and timber, or composite materials inside Tekla Structural Designer. And this is designed using the .NET technology. So you'll notice that it is ribbon type. It's easy to understand, easy to train with, and this is code based. So basically, this is the foundation by which we teach our students structural engineering by relating this structure to the code. So, and it follows the NSCP, or the National Structural Code of the Philippines. But it can also do other different codes at no additional cost, because some software gives you, for example, yung mga BS code natin, or Euro code, and you have to pay an additional for those codes. The software gives you a international codes for free. Now you'll notice in the video that it's actually applying loads. In this case, it's applying wind pressure to the structure. Everything is available through different wizards. So yung mga gravity forces, lateral forces, we have various wizards inside Tekla Structural Designer that allows you to create this wizard And it's a beauty trying to explain this to students because the instruction is going to be very visual. Maintindihan nila yung the concept of the forces as it is applied to the structure, and we do that as well for the seismic. So we have seismic wizard, yung mga zone natin sa Philippines, zone 1, zone 2, zone 4. You can do that. It's parametric, or you just key in the parameters, and then automatically the software will process your load combination, your load cases, and then give you and run different types of analysis. And then after the analysis, it's going to create an optimal design. So if you're doing concrete, it will design the reinforcement. If you're doing steel, it will give you an optimized member sizes for that. And you can always have a visualization of what you want to review inside the model. Yeah. In any part of your in any part of the process, you can review the different reactions, or you're seeing your basic reactions, your shear, moment, deflection diagrams inside, represented in 3D, your deflections, floor vibrations. Now, as part of the design, you can also add yung mga uh, or you can extract forces at any point of your structure. So this is a good visualization tool also for the students to understand how different forces work. No? So yun yung sana mailagay natin sa mga laboratories for them to better understand how structural engineering in terms of uh, the mga vertical projects work. Yeah, and you can get result lines at any 2D element. Yeah. So this is a complete model because Tekla Structural Designer, without needing any add-on, can also design the foundation. So for our geo engineers, yan, pwede na nating gamit to as part of the instruction. You can combine different types of foundation with only Tekla Structural. So isang software lang. Other softwares, you'd have your uh, 3D model of the structure, but if you want to do analysis and design, you have to go to a different environment to do the foundation. Dito hindi, sama-sama na sila. Up to the truss or the roof frames, kayang makover ni Tekla Structures, Tekla Structural Designer. So this is part of the academic bundle, and the other one is Tekla TEDS. No, so the difference between Tekla Structural Designer and Tekla TEDS is that yung TSD natin is 3D analysis and design. Now, if you want for instructional purposes to show the students how to create a single element analysis and design, so ito naman yung papasok yung TEDS natin. So TEDS is a single element designer. Now, if you could think of single elements, you can do analysis and design of beams, columns, pad-based foundation. Yan naman yung ginagawa ni TEDS. So we have one instructor in Baguio who subscribed to this one. Dito na rin yung ginagawa exam niya because what it does, it automates structural engineering calculation. So some of you might have encountered yung parang math uh, solution before for this type of structures or this type of calculation. So this is basically a calculator for structural engineers. So you can analyze in 2D and 3D elements as well. It integrates with Tekla Structural Designer. Pero for instructional purposes, maganda rin magamit natin tong Tekla TEDS. So you have a library of calculations for almost all structural type elements, and then yeah, input based ito. So this is a calculator. You input the parameters, and then automatically it'll produce a professional uh, speed up ko lang, calculation. So dito sa part na to that you can readily submit to building officials. So this way, the students are trained to actually deliver very professional output with a properly checked calculation, which is also code based in the preparation of their submission. Yan. So magandang exercise to, and we know some instructors who are using this. Dito sila gumagawa ng exam nila na for calculation. Madali lang. Okay? So sige, bilisan ko lang po ng konti. I'll skip on this. But we need to understand that these are analysis and design tools that are available in the bundle. So to summarize, yan. Again, for Tekla Structural Designer, you can create various types of models and a, uh, an enumeration of the different analysis that can be performed. Yan, yung 3D building analysis, stage construction, seismic, modal, buckling, all that, and the design. Plus, it produces yung material take-off natin. So if you're doing the bid and the calculation reports, yan, mapapabilis yung delivery ng concept natin sa structural engineering. Okay po. And lastly, dun sa academic bundle natin would include the Trimble Connect for Learning. So ito na yung VDC natin tool or virtual design and construct wherein you make use of a common data environment which is cloud-based to do collaboration across multiple disciplines in the delivery of the project. And dito na natin pinopromote yung connected construction because as Sir Marcus mentioned earlier that hindi isang discipline lang yung involved sa BIM but it's a collaborative process. And here, students can learn how to manage the information sa project. So data management and all the properties of the model. So how to coordinate with anyone with any information. So sabi nga nila, BIM is, to sum in one sentence, is having the right information at the right time available to the right person. So this is the tool that allows you to access that information at the right time. So you have organizers, very much related to the 4D, and then the status sharing as well. So sa tracking na ng progression ng project. So this is the Trimble Connect is an environment where you upload the federated model. Federated meaning lahat and architectural, MEP, structural, mechanical, and everything else, no? So we handle that. And also, this is your platform for the augmented and mixed reality. So all the models, if you want to practice then yung being able to bring the 3D model on site, this is the medium for that, the Trimble Connect. Kasi while you have the hardware, you need to be able to access the uh, model from the cloud. And ito na yung cloud na sinasabi natin. So there are various ways to access that information. So specifically in our case with Trimble, we have yung hard hat. That's the HoloLens with XR2. And then you can access that via phone or tablet and in your desktops. So multi-access to the field. Now, relating this to instruction, kapag ka meron ng academic bundle yung school nyo, they're allowed to access Trimble Connect for free and bring the 3D models with them wherever they go. So, yun yung value nito. Okay? So even for the learning platform, ni Trimble Connect, you can upload unlimited projects. You're allowed to um, upload unlimited data, unlimited collaborators, so yung mga instructors natin, or if it's a group of students that are doing one project, they can do that, and unlimited collaboration. So yung mga sa mga practical na nila where they're going to design different types of structures, this is very useful. So yan yung academic bundle. And of course, we want to relate these tools on where it applies dun sa mga subject na meron tayo sa engineering. So this is a table. You can read through that. For instance, engineering mechanics, yan, yung TSD natin tsaka TEDS, with its key feature, yan, pwede nating maturo yung modeling, analysis ng beams, design. So these are the various subjects that you could probably give some thought right now on where we apply this software solution. By the way, I mentioned software because yun nga, sa Trimble Lab may hardware din, but that would be part two. No, once we've established this software in your respective universities, the next step would be to get the hardware tools to deliver, to give them an actual experience on how it's being utilized in the field. So doon napapasok yung mga geospatial solution natin. But for now, we're just concerned on which subject this specific tools would apply. So yan siya. Anyway, we'll be sharing the slides, no? So that's it for the summary of the subject. And malapit naman na tayo. So why partner with VTS Inc. and Trimble Inc. is because uh, of the industry standard software. So Tekla is a standard in the industry, not only in the Philippines, but globally. So, and there's a high demand for uh, expertise in this solution. And we do provide the training as well for the instructors. So the first set of training will be delivered to the instructors. We want you to be equipped with the knowledge also in how to deliver the instruction para naman yung mga students natin would also benefit a lot from it. And then you can use also the software for research opportunities. You can partner with us for consultancy, and then we'll help you. For example, mga project na rin internal to your universities and schools. Use the software for those projects. That's allowed. It would not be treated as a commercial application of the software, which is academic. So pwede yun. So we can collaborate on that, and then we can probably have your projects join some of the global competitions that we have for building information modeling. So we can help you with that as well. Yeah. So this is a partnership, VTS Inc., and of course, your respective universities. And very much the ultimate goal is to empower the students. No? So let's give them a hands on experience on the tools that are actually used in the industry. And yun we can improve the employability. There was one experience where we have this partnership. It was with CCP. I'm sure you're familiar with CCP back then. So there was a professor who advocates the use of Tekla structures in that, and then nakapag-produce siya ng graduate. He wanted us to help the graduates, and we're proud that an entire batch of graduates were actually hired by Makati Development Corporation after they uh, got the training from us. And so high employability, there's a high demand in skills for Tekla. And then, of course, not only in the Philippines, but globally. And this is one of the highest paying job in terms of the industry right now. Tekla detailers. And okay, so the common concerns in the adoption, as I've mentioned, and of course, somehow we wanted to resolve that, is the cost of the software. So, how can your organization actually fund the software? Is by getting it for free with minimal admin installation charge. Yun pong tatlong software that I mentioned, Tekla Structures, Tekla Structural Designer, Tekla TEDS, and Trimble Connect is free with a grant, so you can just engage us on how to deliver that. But the administration and the installation charge lang yung may very minimal charge for that. So you can actually talk to us after this, and then we will explain to you further how you can sign a one pager and have all the software that I just mentioned. And then eto, faculty training. We If you don't want to pay for the professional training, kung may shortage din ng funds for the training, we can deliver an online training and get you to access different modules and support online so that you can be equipped with the knowledge to do the instruction as well. But also, we have a training facility in VTS that I think we give a very good discount for faculties para magkaroon din kayo ng certification, no, as an instructor. But nevertheless, if you just want to be able to use the software, you can get it for free. The training is free online. Uh, and also yung technical requirements. So the academic bundle is optimized for the standard lab setups. So some of you may be running AutoCAD already in your laboratories. We are sure that if you're already doing any of the Autodesk products there, that Tekla structures will run as well based on this academic bundle provision. And we also provide full technical support for that. Hindi lang yung actual hardware, but we can also partner with you para deliver tayo ng mga efficient na hardware sa inyo po. Okay? So real world impact, based on different studies in a Southeast Asian university, there's a 25% higher student placement after Tekla integration. Especially Singapore is really into it right now. Yung National University of Singapore is doing that, and some other Malaysia is doing that. So the schools can also participate yung Global BIM Awards and have industry recognition, because of the Tekla is really a game changer for engineering professionals, and the skill in Tekla is sought after by top construction firms. So while we may not uh, cater to everybody in construction, at least we are confident to say that majority of the biggest companies in the Philippines with construction is a client. Yeah. So the biggest names. So if your student aspire to become part of this organization, they just need to learn Tekla structures, and yan, we could probably help them no pagka graduate sa partner school namin. So this is a video in one of the Trimble laboratories that is put up. Pakinggan natin.
For the future of higher education, content is no longer central. Students can acquire content online, but what matters most is modes of education, it's collaborative opportunities, it's integrative, project-driven. That is the future of higher education, and this lab is at the forefront of bringing those opportunities to students.
This laboratory is a special gift from Trimble that allows students to have access to the cutting edge technology, both in software and hardware. This technology allows a variety of disciplines to train their students in modern engineering and construction practices.
What really excites me is that with this lab, we can now envision a better future for the school.
For the construction management program coming out of Voiland, technology is super important to keep up with industry. We, being the industry advisory board, try to help provide input on what is the cutting edge, what do they need to be coming out of college, and what do they need to have for their tools so that they can hit the ground running.
So I really want to thank Trimble for stepping up and partnering with us in this way and making it possible for our students to have these experiences, to gain these skills, and have an impact on the state of Washington and beyond.
I just want to sincerely thank Trimble, the hope that it brings for students that could say, hey, we have support from the industry, we have support from people who are ready to invest in our future, and that's what we need for the future of our cities, buildings, interior spaces, landscapes, to be much more just, sustainable, and respond to the everyday needs of everyone.
And here's another one. This is probably the last one. And just to give you a glimpse of how what a Trimble Technology Lab looks like. Okay, and that's it. So the next step would be up to you. Please inquire, schedule a meeting with us, and then if we can agree, we could probably move towards signing of a memorandum of agreement and also the uh, notice of grant and sign our COSLA, and that's to be able to formalize the partnership with VTS Inc. and Trimble. Again, the softwares we've just shown you are free. The trainings may be acquired for free online, and the minimal charges with the license installation lang po talaga. So if you're interested, let us know. And I think we're happy to answer questions right now. Sir Mark is still with us. Thank you, Sir Mark. And so that's the end of my presentation. Here's a QR code for uh, to access our contact, our marketing team, and then our number. This is our team, and we're located here in Quezon City. Ayan. Thank you for attending this webinar and hope this gives you some idea on how to get your students to be using the technology that is used in the industry right now. Maraming salamat po. Have a great lunch, everyone, and keep safe.